the judge is going to instruct the players on every action that they're going to be taking, including when to look at their cards, when to pass them, when to draft one. Sam's done this a million times, so there should be a smooth ride here from Sam Black's perspective. And let's see what Sam opens here for his first pack.
All right, see Amaru Scout, Petals of Insight, Thallid Shell Dweller, Sporloth Ancient, Saltfield Recluse, Take Possession, Stir the Pride, Warspite Changeling. Those are some.
There's a Light from the Loam if he wants to go super deep.
Right, there's a Loam if you want to go deep.
not an advisable pack one first pick though, probably.
So it looks like he's shuffling some of those green Thallid Makers to the front.
He's looking at all of them, man. There's a ton of them.
And there's that
deck.
Loam.
Oh man. So one thing about watching Sam draft is that he has an unorthodox style. He has his opinions about each type of card. We see him take the Amaru Scout here, so he's looking for Rebels here early. Now, that doesn't mean that he has to be.
That's what I like to pick. And actually, I talked to Sam yesterday. His past 3 drafts have all been Red-White Giants.
Okay.
And Amaru Scout, perfectly fine card in that deck. It gets your Changelings to turn on your Blind Spot Giants. Or you can always go Black-White Rebels. Gives you some options. So.
And plus, it's just a reasonable 2/1 for 2. Like, it's just never that bad in the deck anyway.
I mean, 4 mana, 2/4 card, put it into play, especially if it's like a Bound in Silence or something. Goes a long way.
All right, let's see what he picks up here in the second
Let's see
pick.
Test of Faith, Dream Spoiler, which is Mad Ante, Vedalken
Mad
Dismisser,
Ante.
Apocryphite, Knight of the Reliquary. Now, if you want to go green-white, Knight is a strong card, but I don't think we'll see Sam commit himself to something like that so early. Now we're talking.
There's certainly a lot of options for splashing in this format as well. If he feels like Knight of the Reliquary is a powerful card, then he could make a move for it here. But you know, in limited, it's a strong card. It gets pretty big, and it can do some nice shenanigans with your mana. But it's not quite the powerhouse that it is in Constructed when you can tutor up spell-like lands.
Right.
Looks like he likes Apocryphite here.
I like Apocryphite a lot. I think he's going to take it. I like taking artifacts early a lot because it just keeps you open in this format. And, you know, Frank Carson once said that he likes taking artifacts early just because you'll always play them. And that's certainly true with Apocryphite. I think it'll almost always end up in your main deck. So it's a pretty safe second pick here.
And there wasn't anything screaming at him from the rest of the
deck. So Ivory Giant, there's one of the giants that Sam likes so much. Thirst for Knowledge, Sporloth Ancient, Aether Snipe.
Wow.
Oh. Fetch your armor, but that Esprazoa goes right to the front of the pack.
Man, he zipped that one right to the front, and certainly blue-white artifacts is an archetype that Sam could look to be in here for sure.
I talked to Sam. Another deck that he really likes is the blue-white artifact deck. Not the aggressive version of the deck, but the more controlling version, which uses Esprazoa to good effect. And he's going to take it here. Oh, he pulls it right back up. And he does take the Esprazoa. You can return Sanctum Gargoyle every turn to loop things.
Fairy Mechanist.
Oh, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of very, very cheap artifacts as well that you can do just to keep Esprazoa going. Spell bombs, that kind of thing.
And it goes well with his Apocryphite that he already took.
Yeah. All right, so Sam Black taking a lean in towards blue-whitish artifacts, but we'll see. He can absolutely have Rebels in the deck as well.
So Woodfall Primus, Thirst for Knowledge. Now that's a good card for the artifact deck.
Yeah.
I think that, man.
He didn't feel like he could take the Esprazoa over it, but I think that's what he's going to take here.
Right. There's the Manta if he wants to do that. We saw LSV use the Manta in an artifact deck to good effect yesterday, but I think the Thirst is going to be strong here. And like we saw on the slides yesterday, Thirst is one of the most powerful cards, most highly picked cards in winning 8-4 drafts for the artifact deck.
And same with Esprazoa. So Sam's looking to be in a pretty good spot for that deck as far as just power level goes for for this archetype.
So so far we have Esprazoa, Apocryphite, Amaru Scout, and Thirst for Knowledge.
All right, here's his next pack. Oh, wow, another Esprazoa.
Oh, that's just what Sam's looking for. That'll cement him right in the archetype.
There's very few cards that he would take over that. Auriok Salvagers probably on the list. Some other rares, but as far as power goes, that's pretty high on the list.
Right, and the signals seem pretty good here too. He's passing an Amaru Scout or an Amaru Seekers.
Yes.
But other than that, he hasn't really shipped a lot of good stuff in his combination.
No.
So I guess he passed one Thirst for Knowledge, but other than that.
Yeah. Bound in Silence still high on his list, getting to be to the point of the pack where it's unlikely to see one, but we still got 2 more packs to go. This is only pack 1 of Sam Black's deck here.
So we see 2.
So this is the pack he opened, I think. Is it? No, it's not.
I think we're one pack away.
Yep.
So we see a Late Dusk Wasp and a Sporloth Ancient, 2 Sandsores, and the Mirror Enforcer 2 could be pretty good if you want to go into the do a slower artifact deck. And yeah, that looks like that's what Sam's going to take.
Yeah, I mean if he's artifacts, that card comes down very early.
And if you're playing the more controlling deck, like Sam said he likes in the artifact deck, a 4/4 is a pretty burly guy to have late, and you know you can play it for 5 mana or so. It's not insane, but it's perfectly serviceable.
Sure.
So Veteran Armor, pretty solid 2-drop for this
deck.
deck.
It just seems like a fine 2-drop here.
Sam's passing 2 pretty late Dust Wasps. He could think about maybe taking one here, but I think you just keep passing those signals and take the armor. We'll see what he chooses to do.
He's taking a look at Perilous Research too, but it looks like I think he feels like he can pick that up later on in a pack if he really wants one. He's already got a Thirst for Knowledge, which is significantly better.
And the armor is so strong. A 2-mana 2/2 that also just pumps your entire army's toughness.
Yeah. Ooh!
Oh, Ethereum Sculptor came back. Nice.
Ding!
Yep. Sam said, I believe when I was talking to him yesterday, if I recall, he said that was his 3rd favorite card to have in the artifact deck. It just makes all your stuff come down way cheaper.
Yeah.
Double counts for your affinity cards.
Yes.
You know, lets you just
really nice with the Esperzoa, because even if you have something that costs a little bit more, you can still develop your board at some point. Wow, I really like the way that that Sam's deck is shaping up early in the draft here. Now, there's still a long way to go.
Right.
And there's still a lot of powerful cards that Sam could open here. There's the Petals of Insight. This is the pack he opened.
And those green cards came back around, which I know Sam was looking at those the first time.
Yeah.
If you're Sam, do you take one of those green cards, or do you just take the Petals? And
I just take Petals myself. But it's interesting because I feel like Sam probably thought, well, look, there's a bunch of reasonable green cards. I'm going to ship those off and go a little bit of a different direction here and try to put the people into my left into green, and all of them came back. So nobody's in green. Wow, Mad Ante came back too.
All right, well, there's a lit Skyreach Manta, which I think Sam might pick up. There's also that Mad Ante, which is incredibly late. We were talking yesterday about how some of the uncommons in the Goblin deck are really important, and Mad Ante is one of those.
Yeah, it
cards.
used to be a rare, right?
Yeah, it used to be a rare.
Yeah.
And it was really strong back then.
It was really good at that too. Great in multiples as well.
All right. Sam just hates that Fury Charm right out. Do not kill my Esperzoa.
Yeah, that thing can really wreck his day.
Something pretty interesting.
Also, he's planning on opening a sword in one of the next 2 packs. So.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to protect your future.
That's a pretty good artifact. So we see Logic Knot, Peer Through Depths, and Reach Through Mists. And always the controlling player, I think Logic Knot's a pretty safe pick there.
Yeah. Also, Sam has no removal yet.
Relic of Progenitus could be a cheap 1-mana artifact. He does indeed take that.
I don't think Sam has any removal yet, right?
No.
I don't remember him taking anything that
he
kills,
does not.
removes, or gets rid of anything any other way.
Passes the Raven's Crime, takes the Sandsower.
Sandsower's going to go.
Now, blue-white, of course, not the typical removal color.
No, but white has some pretty good options. Path to Exile,
Bound in
Silence, yeah.
So his deck is shaping up pretty nice here. Something interesting to look for in the second pack, too, is he passed a lot of green to his left, and he did not pass a lot of blue-white, so I'd expect some of that to come back around to him.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, though, the green did come back around, so the people to his left are not interested in that.
Right.
So you got to figure somebody was probably pretty stoked to see that Mad Ante come back.
I think interesting effect we're seeing here is yesterday green was an incredibly popular sealed color.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Everyone knew it was really good. Right, in this format, it's super popular.
Yeah.
It's possible it's having ramifications on the draft because no one wants to be in green. I think everyone's going to go green.
That's right.
And it's not happening this time.
All right, so this is going to be pack 2 for Sam Black here.
And I agree. I think Sam's going to look for some removal spells or more artifact options. He wants to see like a Fairy Mechanist or a Sanctum Gargoyle pretty badly in this booster. Those are some of the key engine cards with those 2 Esperzoas. I like the way his draft is shaping up so far, though.
I do too. I mean, he's going to be looking for the 2 cards that you just mentioned, plus basically any form of removal, and then of course any bombs that he opens. You know, any on-color bombs he's going to be looking to pick up here. So there's another Scout.
Spellbomb, but that's off color. Saltfield Recluse. Etched Oracle shifts right to the front. Roby's Whisper.
Wow, there's a Whisper and a Marsh Flitter there too. So, you know, this could be tempting for Sam to diverge a little bit from one of his colors here and move into black, but see what he wants to take. I mean, this is not a very exciting pack for Sam. If he wants to take the Etched Oracle, he can start considering being multicolored artifacts, you know, kind of 5-color, colorless.
Right, absolutely.
But I think it looks like he just wants that Spellbomb here.
Right, and there you go. As you said, Marshall, he needs the removal spell.
Yeah, he's got to have it.
And he can find a way to get red mana probably with a Vivid Land he could pick up at some point, you know, fix his mana a little bit. And plus, with so many artifacts, his deck's mana kind of fixes itself because you can play some early mana artifacts.
Yeah. There's a Manamorphose, a Blinding Beam he pulls to the front. Wow, Divinity of Pride.
Terramorphic Expanse, Avian Changeling. There's one of those Vivid Lands that could help.
You see him snap that to the front, but there's a lot of good cards. Worn Pilfers is also a decent card here, but man, Divinity of Pride, that's a tough one to pass.
That Divinity is really tempting. The problem is it doesn't really go into his deck a lot.
No.
You know, very well
and
right
currently
now.
it's going to be white, 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 white. That's a tough sell. So yeah, he's going to keep it simple and just take the not only Vivid Meadow, but it's also an on-color Vivid too, so he can use it to cast his regular spells potentially.
Right. I like the Vivid a lot here, especially because you end up with so many playables in this format, you can afford to take a couple lands early to help fix your mana base.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Gavin. That's one that for those of you that haven't had a chance to draft this format, let's take a look. I'll revisit this thought after. There's another Vivid land. This time it's a Vivid Marsh. Oh, there's a Bound in Silence, though.
Yeah, and Vivid lands are certainly good. Oh,
ooh,
Path Exile, too.
Path, right?
I think you have to take the Path here. I mean, we saw it at the top of most of the uncommons list yesterday. It's an awesome removal spell, 1 mana instant, gets it right out of the game. They can't disenchant it or something like that.
Yeah, I had a hard time thinking of a better removal spell in limited, you know, that was printed in like a limited made set.
Right.
If you come up with one, let me know.
Does Dumazawa's G-Take count as a removal spell?
No.
That's
a better card.
And yeah, Path to Exile goes right in Sam's deck.
Rashad says it removes your opponent from the game. And they don't have to get a basic. So. All right, let's see what Sam has here.
Pestermite.
Some good stuff. Ooh, there's another Bound in Silence.
Right, and we're really seeing Sam get rewarded here for cutting the white-blue deck in the first booster.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's a Pestermite, there was a Petals, there was another Aether Snipe. I'm sure he'd like to have one of those in his deck at some point, too.
Right. Yeah, but he takes the Bound, just, you know, quality removal spell.
Easy choice.
Lets your Esperzoas get right past, you know, buys you a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And it goes well with the Amaru Scout he already took.
And with 2 Esperzoas, you don't need much time. Those things hit hard.
Please have it back to your right. There should be 11 cards.
So I was going to say, though, Gavin, that, if you haven't drafted this format yet, there's a ton of good cards in the set. You always end up with 30 playables in this format. There's a Sanctum Gargoyle.
And Sam cannot put that in the front of the pack fast enough. No. Sanctum Gargoyle, right in the deck.
He did the obligatory, like, cursory look at the rest of the stuff. Like, yeah, we'll glance. But he already picked it, as you can see. It's not in this pack anymore.
Right. And I mean,
that's an absolutely key card for this archetype.
Right. I mean, when it comes into play, you return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand. And not only is that good when you have a bunch of artifacts in your deck, but with Esperzoa, the 2 that Sam already has, returning it over and over every single turn, that synergy is huge. And synergy in this format is super important.
Very, very important. A lot of these decks have a combination of synergistic cards with just outright powerful cards. And there's another Vivid land for Sam. Interestingly, he's got a blue and a white Vivid land. So he's ran well with that.
And the only other card from that pack, really, that he could maybe even think about playing is either Spellstutter Sprite, which is pretty weak, or that Arcbound Wanderer, which is not very good either.
That's right, yeah.
And the Vivid Land, once again, you have so many playables in this format. It'll help fix his mana, let him activate that Pyrite Spellbomb. I like that pick a lot. And
I like it a lot.
And he can splash if he opens up something really powerful, too, potentially.
Sam's deck's looking very solid after this pack. We were saying he wanted to pick up removal, and he did. There's a Frogmite. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. So what do you like here, Gavin? There's an Aether Spellbomb and an Esperzoa for Sam.
Right. I mean, I think you have to take the Esperzoa. It's the 3rd Esperzoa, and
you're supposed to say it before he takes it.
Yeah, sure. That's fair. I think I'd take the Esperzoa. I mean, it is your 3rd one.
Yeah.
And if you have 2 in play, even it doesn't really work out very well.
It gets a little awkward, yeah.
But the 4 power flyer for 3 is just so good.
Yeah, he's going to be able to have that on turn 3 almost every game here.
Right.
Erratic Mutation. Yeah, that can hit some stuff. Wow, I think he's going to take the Vivid here. Man, if he takes the Vivid here, he can definitely start to look for, you know, Etched Oracle, for some Sunburst type stuff.
Right, and it's so easy for him to do. If you just have those 3 Vivid lands, you play mostly Islands, Plains, maybe, you know, 1 mountain or something, and it could be pretty easy to kick up your Skyreach Manta to a 3/3 or a 4/4. With Manta, you don't always have to max it out, which is nice. You know, a 5 mana 4/4 flyer is still plenty good.
That's right. There's the Etched Oracle.
And speaking of Sunburst cards.
Yeah, so this is the one that he's wheeling this one, so that's pretty nice. I think he was hoping to hit that. And
Sam, of course, I mean, you probably remember there was an Etched Oracle in a pack that he opened up earlier.
Sure.
And it came right back around to him. He's like, maybe there's a chance it'll come back.
Yeah.
And it did exactly
That's what
that.
I was thinking, and I was kind of surprised it came back, but he's got to be happy about it.
Pretty weak pack for Sam, but he shuffles Worn Pilfers to the front, Netduko Shaman.
Yeah. He could take the Manamorphose just to take it, but looks like he's deciding. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
It has prettier artwork, so.
That's true.
Tiebreaker.
We all know that's the crucial part of the drafting experience.
That's how you decide. All right, there's a cheap artifact for him with a Rune Stalactite.
Right. Not an incredible artifact, but, you know, still.
Would assume that won't make the deck.
Probably not. But, you know, 1-drop artifact just in case.
Yeah.
If you end up with, you know, 16 Esperzoas, it could be a good line. Wow.
Wow. Aether Snipe this late that kind of, like, I feel some level of pain seeing that.
I felt some level of
that card. Yeah, for Sam, but just, like, I just feel like it's been disrespected here. It's a sad day for Aether Snipes around the world. Wow, there's a Mirror Enforcer.
What a 3 last cards for Sam. Arcbound Worker, Mirror Enforcer, Erratic Mutation.
Yeah. Yeah, having access to like one erratic mutation is nice because sometimes there's utility cards. Like if you play against a Rebels deck, you'd like to have that card, and there's a Wanderer, but that's not going to make the cut.
Yeah, it looks like Sam's just going to cut that Dampened Thought, just make sure he doesn't accidentally lose to a Dampened Thought deck.
That's right. And there's an erratic mutation last, so he has access. So let's take a look here. For those of you just tuning in, first things first, good morning. And second, we're watching Sam Black. Those are the hands of Samuel H. Black, and he is drafting Modern Masters here at Grand Prix Las Vegas. This is after his second pack, and he's in a blue-white base, but really it's going to be a 5-color colorless or, you know, up to 5-color Sunburst type deck with a lot of artifacts. So it's a blue-white that can splash up because he's got a few Vivid Lands as well. He's got 3 of them.
And we really saw him get off to the races with his early picks. He got some early Esperzoas, 2 Esperzoas, Thirst for Knowledge, and some solid artifacts to kick off the draft.
Yeah.
And then they just kept coming, and Sam was happy to stay there.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves this archetype, and especially with those 3 Vivid Lands he has now, he can splash Sunburst cards, Pyrite Spellbomb, you know, maybe even another artifact if he opens it up here.
Another bomb, yeah.
Yeah. You know, or...
All right, let's see what Sam opens here. This is a full 15-card format. A little different than regular 14-card boosters that we get.
Something interesting to me especially is normally in time drafts they remove the foils, but since there's a foil in every Modern Masters booster, they're all in this draft.
They are.
Another Amaru Scout, Frogmite.
There's a Blinding Beam there. Oh, there's a Spellbomb. I know he's going to want that. Trump the Domains and another Divinity of Pride.
So he shuffles.
You got to take the Spellbomb here, right? Yeah. I don't think that's really close.
Nope, I feel like the Spellbomb is absolutely the right pick.
Right, it's on color Spellbomb. It's a powerful one, and he also has the now triple Esperzoa. So 1-drop artifacts have all of a sudden taken a pretty prominent stance for Sam here.
Right, and as you mentioned earlier, blue-white isn't exactly a color known for its removal, so just a way to bounce a guy off the board, get your 4/3 flyers through could be huge, and it can cycle away if you're just looking for gas, which is nice.
That's right. And, you know, we did notice that he's also got the Sanctum Gargoyle, so we can get it back if he needs to just, you know, get a little bit of value going. I mean, it's pretty nice that it's that cheap.
Absolutely. This pack, Sam has got to be really looking for another Sanctum Gargoyle or a Fairy Mechanist or something to help that engine with the Esperzoa.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that he's missing at this point is those engine pieces. Wow, there's an Aaron Ephemeron, another Ethereum Sculptor, gifts.
Take Possession, although I don't think Take is going to be what he's looking for here. I think, so Ethereum Sculptor goes better with his deck, but I think I like the Aaron Ephemeron here. It's just so powerful.
I actually agree with you on that one, Gavin, but Sam says, look, we're playing our artifacts. We've got our... You know, I mean, that makes his Esperzoas cheaper. It makes the things that he bounces with his Esperzoas cheaper. He does have a couple of affinity creatures. I think he's got a Frogmite and a Mirror Enforcer. Like, you can see where he's coming from going for that card.
And we've been talking about synergy over power in this draft format.
Absolutely.
And that's a great example of that.
Yep, and so you could definitely see that because Aaron Ephemeron's one of the more powerful cards in the common pool there. So.
Right. Sam said that when he's drafting this deck, he wants a lot of Ethereum Sculptors. It's his 3rd favorite common, and and there's another one for him if that's what he's into.
Here he is, and again, he's got to make the pick over the Aaron Ephemeron, but he's clearly shown that he's willing to do that. Now the question is, does he think he's going to get back that Mirror Enforcer? And it looks like he does. Yeah. Again, though, he's really putting a premium on cheap artifacts here. That's the key, right? I mean, This is very much an Esperzoa deck at this point. He is going to have turn 3 Esperzoa most of the games that he plays at this point, and he needs to make sure that he can maximize on that.
Right.
Plus, he could get that Mirror Enforcer back easily. There's not very many decks that want that card.
And they're coming around late last pack, too.
Yeah.
So.
The only downside is that it's a foil, so somebody might be like, ooh, shiny.
The danger of foils.
Yeah, attracted to shiny objects. All right, there's another Aether Snipe. Oh.
There's the Sanctum Gargoyle.
Second to last, but we have officially moved into Rashad calling this deck sick territory here. So.
When he was going through the pack at first, I was like, okay, Aether Snipe,
yeah,
that's good. Okay, Erratic Mutation or Take Possession, maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
And then he got to the Sanctum Gargoyle. That's exactly what Sam wants out of this booster.
It also immediately disappeared. Once he hit the Sanctum Gargoyle, I was like, wait, where'd that go? So right into his pile. So this deck is definitely starting to cross the threshold into just outright awesome.
Right.
He does have, and he's got the Path and a Bounded Silencer too, so he's got answers. Oh, there's another blue Spell Bomb for him. Pact of Negation, not really what he wants here. He just wants a Spell Bomb.
Yep, I like that Spell Bomb too.
All right, so Rashad, I've officially joined you. Rashad says he's played this block before.
I was about to say what Sam really wants is another removal spell in this booster, if he can find one late. And Aether Spell Bomb, not exactly hard removal, but still gives him the tempo he wants there with the Esperzoas, letting them bash through, buys him some time, and it's a cheap artifact. Kind of everything that he wants his deck to have.
Exactly.
We'll see if he finds any more late pack goodies here.
Come on, Auriok Salvagers. Boo.
So there's a late Arcbound Worker. He could also look at taking that Vivid if he wants to make sure that his Sunburst cards are online.
Yeah, this is an interesting choice because Arcbound Worker, he's got plenty of one-drop artifacts now, and I don't know that Arcbound Worker would make the cut. He's already got one.
Right.
I don't know about running another one.
5 seconds.
I like the Vivid. He's got it pulled to the front. Let's see what he ends up taking here, though.
Draft.
Ooh, he looks like he can't decide. He's going to go for the Worker. That was a close one.
Goes for the Worker. I mean, at some point, you have to be careful you don't have too many coming to play tap lands. It would have been his 4th Vivid land, which is, starting to get a little scary. But, late Aether Snipe, wow.
Was that a Penumbra Spider, too?
And a Spider, yep. The guy to Sam's left is getting hooked up on green.
Yeah, but, I mean, they apparently don't want it. He's just gets cut and empty the Warrens over an Aether Snipe here.
He's like, I'm not going to play this Aether Snipe. I don't want to lose to the Storm deck.
I love it. Sam knows what he wants.
Here you go. And to be fair, Empty the Warrens is certainly a card that could trump Sam. Sam's got this 4/3 flyer engine. He's got a couple things on the ground, but suddenly 8/1/1 tokens could pose a huge threat to him.
Wow, there's a pretty late Spell Bomb.
And a Spell Bomb, nice.
Interesting Aethersworn Canonist here too. But you got to figure he's going to take the Spell Bomb, right? No, interesting.
Paradise Mantle. So it's a 0-cost artifact. He can replay it every turn for free with the Esperzoas.
Yes.
The ability, not so strong, but if he just wants a cheap artifact to power out his Mirror Enforcers, his Frogmites, that's a card to look at.
Will that make the cut?
I think if Sam took it over Pyrite Spellbomb, it'll make the cut.
Okay.
Unless Sam is thinking he's not going to play the Spellbomb that he already has. Blinding Beam comes back. Another Vivid land.
Oh, jeez.
So now Sam has to make a choice between a 4th Vivid land and an on-color one, no less.
I like all the hearts on there, too. Sam's probably thinking the same thing. He's just like, yay.
I'm certainly thinking the same thing.
I love this pack. That's a tough choice because Blinding Beam's a really, really powerful card in this format in the right deck. And when you're in a lot of ways trying to lean on Esperzoas, getting their flyer. Jeez.
What in the world? That is the latest Aaron Ephemeron I have ever seen in this format.
I haven't seen one that late either. There's also gifts, but he's just got to take Ephemeron here, right? Is he really deciding between these two? Sam! What are you doing, Sam?
It's possible. We're saying these are hate picks. Maybe with all these artifacts and the Esperzoa and the Vivid lands, Sam could just play that Grape Shot and empty and pass it for 3 or 4.
There's a Mirror Retriever for him as well, because why not? No, you're absolutely right. Those are absolutely possibilities for his deck. Remember, he's got free artifacts, cheap artifacts, and if he's got a couple of Ethereum Sculptors, that makes all the one-drop artifacts also free, and he can set up some really nasty turns with an Empty the Warrens if he needs to.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know if his deck really would need that ever, but he should take the Ritual here, right? Yeah, there we go.
It's possible Sam's trying to set up for a sideboard plan, something that Shuhei Nakamura told me once is, wow, it's a really strong late pack. Sporloth, Ancient, Maston-Myers, Perilous Research.
Wow,
Sam
green is just super open.
But something Shuhei said once is you want to draft for your sideboard sometimes. If your deck is done, try and build a good sideboard plan. And as we saw yesterday, Sam likes to sideboard, figure out interesting plans. Thundering Giant, Mothos changelings. Sam will take the Giant and ship the changeling. Then the last pick, Arcbound Wanderer.
All right, so you get a look at Sam there, and there's his deck. I think it turned out really, really well for him. He's going to need to make some, take a look at Sam there. He's like, yeah, I do this every day.